Okay, guys, welcome to this interview. We're going to do this interview in English, although it's a training that's organized in my school in Belgium. But we have Astrid Harms here with us. She's originally from Germany, but she lives in the Netherlands, so she can speak Dutch as well for my
Ja, klopt.
Dutch students or my Flemish speaking students actually, but the training will be in English. So also this interview will be in English because we're going to live stream this training as well. So people from outside of Belgium who are not Flemish speakers might be interested for this training as well. So Astrid, welcome to this interview. We're going to talk about your training and one thing that I heard you say it yesterday in another chat that we had. It's tinnitus or tinnitus. It's different in different countries, or
Yes, both. Well, they're both being used. Tinnitus is usually the more scientific way to say it, and well, many Americans, for example, say tinnitus.
yeah,
But it doesn't matter, and I use both of them sometimes.
okay.
Yeah,
So both are okay. So
yeah.
okay. So let's talk about tinnitus
Mhm.
for hypnotherapist. So first of all, I know from my experience as a teacher that my students and even my team of hypnotherapists they are not so happy to work with
Yeah.
tinnitus clients because they most of the time they are a bit afraid of that. Let's talk about that later. But how on the hell did you came with the idea on let's work with tinnitus and let's create a training about that? So what inspired you to do this?
Well, I never was going to create a training on it, but I just got into it. It's what set it off was my mum has had tinnitus for over 40 years.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, leave it. It's fine. And I had it as well about 5 years ago, and mine just went away. Hers is still as strong as it always was. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's at an 8. And then last year, beginning of last year, actually, somebody said to me, I will never get rid of my tinnitus because I have a punctured eardrum.
Mm.
Like perforated eardrum, sorry. I'm
Perfect.
like, that's strange because I had that as well, but mine went away. So I just wanted to quickly have a look. Why does that happen? What's going on? And I ended up looking at over 1,600 scientific studies. I, of course, I know all the ways that we can approach tinnitus with normal hypnotherapy, direct suggestion and refocusing attention, all of that. But I specifically did not look at any of the trainings. I didn't copy anything. I
Mm.
made it up myself. I created something myself where I knew I can support this. And it's a way of working that also includes those techniques, obviously,
Mm.
but it goes further. And the main trick about all the science that I use, even with clients, even in talking about it, is that you have to convince people first that it is possible to change. Because
Yeah,
if they come to you normally, what happens, they come to a hypnotherapist as a last resort.
yeah. Like with a
That's
lot
that's
of,
very often,
of
yeah.
course.
They've been through everything. They've
Yeah,
bought all the eardrops. They've done all the ginseng, the ginkgo, the whatever it is that they have been promised, the B12, everything.
yeah.
And it didn't work. Or for some it works, and for some it doesn't. So the strange thing is, where does that come from? And that's why many hypnotherapists refer to me. I've never had so many referrals as with tinnitus. It's just absolutely crazy. So you'll go to them saying, well, you're just going to refocus somewhere else. And the subconscious mind or the mind says, no, 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 we're not. Then you've got some hypnotherapists who work with tinnitus as emotional trauma,
Mm.
which partially it is trauma because you are caught in something you can't get rid of. But there's lots more to it. So I came up with this model, these 4 groups of causes, because there are actually over 200 different causes for
Mm.
tinnitus
Yeah.
and different ways of why it most likely occurs. Because I need to say this is not certain. These are the most likely explanations, and there's like 6, 7, 8 models that you can use or that are currently state of science. And you've got auditory issues like the eardrum, the middle ear infections, you have somatosensory issues like head and neck issues, or when you have dental work done, all of those things. You have inflammation as a potential cause, and you have the huge part of psychological issues. And that is how I explain it to clients. That's making it as easy as it can be. And first of all, they need to understand what it might be for them. And you never have just one cause. You might have two. So you might have had, and this was probably in my case, middle ear infections as a child, and then just loads of stress at a certain point of time. And stress is very often where it occurs. Hormonal issues like menopause can cause it. That could either be inflammation, or it could be something else that triggers it in that way. But or the psychological side of it. That there's so much to it, but it's different. It's individual for every client. And finding that out, first of all, is important. But before you can find that out, you need to, or in the same, talk, you really explain this kind of concept to them. Every time I speak about it in hypnotherapy conventions, I have people sitting in the crowd saying, wow, that was amazing. I never knew this. And I've been a doctor, I've been a nurse, I've been a hypnotherapist, or I've had it myself for years. So that really, really makes sense. And understanding, So at the moment, when people come to you, it's a problem that can't really be defined. And if you have a problem that you can't define, you can't find a solution for it. So that's basically what I'm doing. First of all, I'm helping clients to find or define the problem so that they can then come up with a solution for themselves.
So you see your tinnitus clients only for one session or for multiple sessions?
No. It's multiple sessions. At the moment, I do 5 because that's usually, you can't do magic. Sometimes you can. I've got sessions on YouTube where I work with people and they have no tinnitus after the session. It may come back, so you can't expect instant results either. So as a hypnotherapist, you can't be discouraged by no results or very little shifts in the first session. Just like your client shouldn't be. So 5 sessions, and there's always something else that we can work on in the same area. So first session we'll be explaining it to them and just doing a general session, emotional detox I use a lot, for example, and several other things, and just seeing where can we go, just a bit of prodding what's happening here. And then they get homework. Or they get suggestions for the week ahead, and they will always come back with insights, understanding. And the thing is, if you have the psychological component, the distress, understanding will help them to, first of all, calm down. That calms down the noise because we're breaking that vicious cycle of distress and noise. You get the stress, then you get the noise from it, and then you have the noise, and you get more stress, and that. Of
course, it's just a vicious circle. That it's actually
And then at some point they either understand, oh yeah, it's because I didn't want to hear something, or there are various functions of that tinnitus covers. And then the next sessions will work on whatever they came up with, what they found out, because very often they think that their dental work had nothing to do with something, or their jaw problems. I can't always take away, tooth issues, but I can then say also, and that's important, send them to the dentist and tell them to have that looked at. And that's important as well, that you are an authority in your field and you understand what's happening, or you can give them valuable tips, because most people are just like, they have no idea what's going on with them.
So it's a bit more than just doing some hypnotherapy with them, because you also have the knowledge, and also the people getting certified in this, they also get the knowledge on how to communicate and what tips to give and what information to give to tinnitus clients. It's just more than let's do a hypnotherapy session to get rid of tinnitus.
It's a lot more. I mean, what you gain if as a hypnotherapist, you need the confidence to know and to understand, okay, this isn't a one session fix. And if I do the same thing over and over, it may help, but it might not have to. And, I don't share the views of some practitioners who say it's always this or it's always this. It isn't. It's a mixed bag. Yeah.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
similar to chronic pain. And it's being likened to chronic pain as well, tinnitus. So, I mean, your leg might hurt and your leg might be broken, or it's just a nerve that's doing
Of
something
course.
to you. Like, it can be anything. So, that finding that out and then getting rid of the cause, or the underlying issue, that's important, or
Yeah.
improving that.
What I found in experience with working with people with tinnitus is that even if you can lower the tone from let's say 8 to 2, it's
Mm.
not gone, but they
No.
are already extremely happy with that
Mhm.
because they had an improvement and
Yes.
it's almost gone. And I think that's one of the issues that a lot of hypnotherapists are getting afraid of working with tinnitus because they expect that 1 or 2 sessions would remove it completely, and that's not always the case or not always possible. But
Yeah.
because of the fact that when you say there are so many other things that can cause it, when you can do some hypnosis, lower the tone, and then give some insights on what else they can do, and maybe they can get totally rid of it, or it can stay on two, and they will be
Yeah.
much happier for the rest of their life than with a tone of level 8, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's actually often how tinnitus is being measured in scientific studies, the quality of life, because you
yeah.
can't really measure tinnitus on an objective scale. It's nobody else can hear it but you. That's
The
the
same
thing. But
like you refer to pain, eh? It's the same. Eh? What is pain? Yeah, everybody
yeah,
can give a level, but for me,
yeah,
an 8 might be totally different than for somebody else on pain level, and that's the same with the tone. Nobody can hear your tone, or so yeah.
yeah, exactly. And the same um, issues arise with tinnitus as with chronic pain when you do hypnotherapy for them. Can you really take that sound away if it is giving a warning of sorts? Because if you, I say it's like your cellar is flooding, and all you do is shut the door, but the problem is still there.
Yeah,
If all you take away is the sound, the alarm is just switched off,
yeah,
but for the rest, you still have the same issues, and that's, I think, where I see a lot of colleagues falling short because they see tinnitus as the issue itself. It's not, it's a symptom very
yeah.
often.
It's a symptom from underlying things that
Yeah.
you tackle as well, and yeah.
Yeah. But
Uh,
also like chronic pain, it can be just left over from the past. It can be, but not necessarily. So then if you work on those issues, psychological issues as well, then people become a lot happier and satisfied. What I do have to say though is they have just about a year ago now discovered a sort of switch, because some people, they can switch off tinnitus. They focus somewhere else and it's gone.
Gone.
The question is, in the perception, is it then really gone, or are you just not paying attention to it? What's the difference? But there are people who can consciously switch it on and off. And that's what I train with my clients as well. I can do that as well. I sometimes have it come in actually in that ear. So it comes on quietly and it's like, "Ee," and I'm like, oh no, okay, what do you want to tell me? So that's, and
Yeah,
then it goes away again. So that's a way you can deal with it. That's one of them if you have
yeah.
tinnitus yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know from I have it sometimes. I have a bit the same like you, that sometimes when I get really stressed, or when I then sometimes it comes up and then it immediately goes away. So I never had it for longer than a minute or something, but
Yeah.
it's sometimes there. It's just like a signal that's maybe that that I need to calm down a bit, or take a break, and yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Because it's one of the things that it's very common, I guess. I don't know the numbers, but probably you know the numbers of how many people are actually suffering from tinnitus in whatever form.
15 to 20% worldwide, at least at some point in their life, and 1.2%, I believe, are very severe.
Yeah,
And I've had clients or had requests to help before I go and myself.
mm,
And you know that there's another thing that you're going to learn in the training. When do I say no?
mm,
Because you know you really want to help those people. However, you might be
yeah,
getting yourself into trouble with that.
yeah,
So, and the
yeah.
biggest issue
Yeah,
is,
well,
yeah,
that's some people are really on that point, and they
yeah,
say, okay, this is And
So
we
you
had
do
it.
need to refer on. Yeah.
We had it a few times in our hypnosis center in Belgium, not for tinnitus, but for other things, that people arrive and they say,
Mhm.
"You're my last hope. If this is
Yes.
not going to work, I'm going to apply for yeah." In Belgium, you can apply for yeah, like controlled. It's controlled,
Yes.
right? But yeah,
Yes.
but
And
so
that's, yeah, there's that's a tough
that's
part of it. Yeah.
an impact on as a therapist as well, because they put a lot of pressure on you, because actually, yeah, you're the last thing that they want to try. And then
Yeah.
yeah, we even had one lady, and the date was already set that she was going to die, and
Yeah.
she actually canceled. That
Yeah.
was a good result, but it's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of pressure. And yeah, I especially with tinnitus, it's something that people are considering when it's getting too bad. I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I also have a Facebook group where you can ask questions as a therapist and get support. That's what the course also
I think that's important, yeah.
entails. Yeah.
Especially for the ones starting with this,
Mhm.
and also for the ones who are quite new in the hypnotherapy business,
Mhm.
and don't have any coaching experience, and then you get something like that on your plate.
Yeah.
I can imagine that as a therapist, it's get an impact on you as well. So that's
Yes.
yeah, okay.
I mean, you do need to know when to say no, when you can still help, and how you can still help, and maybe whether you can help in a complementary way. But the thing is, very often they've already been to the mental health providers and they didn't get any help.
Yeah,
Some people, antidepressants work. For others, they make it worse. Anxiolytics, anti-anxiety drugs,
yeah.
they can make it worse or better. It's such a mixed bag. So, if they've been through everything and you really are their last hope,
And
yeah,
like you said, and it's something very common in the hypnotherapy world, not only for tinnitus. We are never the first thing that they try. They
yeah,
they always, unless they are referred by somebody, and they have an issue, and somebody refers them immediately to a hypnotherapist,
mhm,
then it might be the first thing they try. But
yeah,
in 95% of the clients you have, they tried already, so even for weight loss, they tried so many other things
yeah,
before they come and see a hypnotherapist. So in many cases, it's a bit of their last chance to get rid of it,
yeah.
or in their mind is the last thing that they can try. And yeah, that's
And the tough thing is, and that's, I think, that needs to change. The yeah, health providers, doctors, everyone, they say there is no cure. You will have to live with it.
live with it. Yeah,
And
of
from a doctor, that is a suggestion that really sticks. And the
course.
more you try and it doesn't work, the more you embody this. And
Yeah,
even chronic tinnitus even becomes part of your identity, as does chronic pain or other issues.
yeah,
So what I work on as well, very often is to question those beliefs and try to get people to think in a different way.
mm,
What results that I get is anything from it goes away completely to it just reduces by a few points. I mean, okay, I understand that there can be criticism. Well, I can achieve that. How do you know that your system is better? However, you can think further and you can help them further. With all the other issues around that, that could be weight loss, that could be immune issues, or reducing inflammation, because we can do that as well as hypnotherapists. And where was I going to go just now? I've lost my train of thought there. But no, we can do a lot, and I've had people turn around their entire lives, quit their job and find a new one because they found that is what is making it worse. Leaving a lot of trauma behind, that's another one, or just yeah, getting over a past relationship that they've had, or
mm,
distancing themselves or starting a completely new life and getting a more positive mindset. That's some of the most satisfactory stories that I have, that people just become really positive and looking to the future. And I also actually include into the training future visioning, because I found that such a strong
wrong one.
driver for people to become healthy, not just in tinnitus, but also many other
Uh,
issues that I work with.
yeah, yeah, it's something that I use a lot as well.
Mhm.
People, yeah, it will give them, and because a lot of these clients, they never, or they can't see themselves without the problem, and
Mhm.
something like future
Yeah,
pacing or future vision will help them to get a clear image of, hey, there is another way of living without
yeah,
whatever issue they have. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
or
You do need
with
you
the
need to be
result.
yeah. You do need to build a new identity at times, because it's like, who am I without the tinnitus?
Uh,
What am I going to do if I don't have this to complain about or to deal with? What is my life going to be empty? There's a lot of fear around that too.
I once had it was an older client, and it was also for tinnitus. And during the session, we put it on a quiet. I think we switched it off actually. We went to zero. And then after the session, he opens his eyes, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's gone." And then he was searching for it. He was
Hmm.
like, "Oh yeah, there it is." He was relieved.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
was really confused. I was like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so there for him it was gone, and he was happy. And then like a half a minute later, he was already, oh yeah, there it is. So he was
Yeah.
yeah, he refound his signal or his tone. So it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's indeed not always easy to yeah, because you're a different person without
Mhm.
the tone. I
Yeah.
can imagine
Yeah.
that.
It's like, where's my wallet? Where's my phone?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
wherever you put your wallet and your phone. Yeah. Yeah. But there are things that you can do in this moment when they're searching for it to keep them from getting it back.
yeah, I can
So
imagine. For me, I was surprised. For
yeah.
me, I totally had no idea what to do, because I was totally surprised. I was like, huh? I just get rid of it, and now he's searching for it. I was like, okay, this is
Mhm.
strange. So yeah, but then it's good that you have much more information about an issue than just, okay, I'm a
Yeah.
hypnotherapist, I can work with it, but I don't have all the background, all the knowledge about that specific. And I think
Yeah.
for a lot of issues, we don't need too much background information. But for things like this, who are so life
Yeah.
changing, and there's so, like you said, there's so many different reasons that you might have it, then
Mhm.
it's better to
Yeah.
have some background, to have some more information than just, oh yeah, I know it's a tone and I can switch it off. Yeah, but
Yeah.
so because I can imagine when potential students for your training are listening to this interview, or reading whatever it's on our page on the website, that they're like, okay, but yeah, it's only for tinnitus. Um, can they use the techniques that you teach, of course, with a bit of imagination and adaptation? Can they use it for different issues as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Misophonia and hyperacusis, they're also
uh,
related to hearing. Misophonia is when you, for example, hear styrofoam scratches and you're like, "Argh," or somebody's eating, "Argh," those kinds of
quite
things.
common as well.
Um,
We already had a lot of clients with misophonia, and it can be
yeah,
everything, like the neighbors' children, or things like that, that they are just yeah, that
yeah,
they get so focused on it that I had one
exactly.
guy moving out his house because of that.
Yeah, it's very similar, can be very similar reasons, or yeah, that they're very closely related. So that's one thing. And partially migraines as well, and chronic pain as well. I mean, we all know this if we're in the mind body space, and that is my broad niche.
Mm.
Lots of these things you can use in those areas as well.
Yeah, and
Not
I
necessarily the
guess.
specific science about tinnitus, but the rest,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, of course. And I guess that once you're established as an expert in things like this, that there will be referrals
Oh
from,
yes.
yeah, like you said, you have a lot of
I,
referrals, and because of the fact that a lot of hypnotherapists are afraid of working with tinnitus, or
Mhm.
like, maybe that's not for me. So once they know that you, as a therapist, have success stories with it, then you will get referrals. So it's something
Yeah.
that can, yeah. So if people are still like, maybe it's for me, maybe it's not for me, what would you tell them to convince them to sign up for your training?
That's going to be a funny one. I wouldn't convince them. I wouldn't sell them on it. You need to know that
No,
this
but
is something you want to work with. But everybody has people in their family, has it themselves, and you can use it for yourself as well. The information, it's going to help. So if you're on the fence, you're already interested. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can come in person, you can be online and listen to it. You'll have all the information that you need. And it's a thing, well, from a financial perspective, people who come to you and they haven't found any other help, they are willing to pay for it. It's not like, spider phobia. It's something that is keeping people busy every single day. And they value that as well. And you will actually grow in the way you appear for your colleagues, for your surroundings, for your potential clients, because you can help solve this much better, and you do have success. There are only a few cases where you cannot help, and you should know. I do screen my clients very well, and that's why my success rate might be a bit higher, because I know what I'm not going to work with in relation to tinnitus. Yeah. So you do learn that as
because
well.
you mentioned 5 sessions, I can imagine it's in a higher price rate than when you have when you sell a program to a client like this. So
well, I don't. Well, the pricing. I'm not going to go into the pricing for the course, but I have normally. The thing is, I do have single sessions as well. I have 3 sessions, but for tinnitus, I found it's 5, and you can already tell if somebody's not really invested or is just like kind of looking for a solution, they're going to want to have 1 session to test it out.
Again,
but the commitment is really important. Yeah.
That's something you will probably discuss in the training on how to do all these settings.
Yeah. And I discussed that in discovery calls as well. I mean, you could do 1 session and it doesn't always mean that you're immediately improved. Those expectations, setting those expectations is really important to learn as well. Yeah.
Okay. So the date. I had something coming here, but it's not coming now. Oh no. Just a second. Let's see if it's now coming. Okay, so this is the link actually for the website. So if you go to the Hypnosis Centrum website, for my English speakers, there will be an email to the newsletter with the link as well. And of course, the Dutch speakers, they already got it. The date is the 11th of October. It's in Belgium, in Leuven. For foreigners who wants to visit Belgium, it's a nice place. Leuven, it's where Stella Artois is brewed, and you can also pay a visit to the brewery while you're there. If you have any questions regarding travel or accommodation, I can help you. But of course, there is also the live stream. But yeah, coming live, it's a nice excuse to come to Belgium, have a 1-day training, and spend a bit more days in Belgium. So Astrid, let's switch to Dutch just for a few moments. Dus ja, Astrid, jij spreekt dus ook Nederlands. En ik weet uit ervaring dat er altijd wel cursisten zijn die wel interesse hebben in een training. Maar omdat ze dan in het Engels gegeven wordt, dat ze wat twijfelen aan het feit dat ze dat wel gaan kunnen volgen. Nu, in jouw geval kunnen ze natuurlijk... want ik merk bijvoorbeeld, als ik de virtuele maagband geef, dan is er een moment dat Sheila op Zoom komt. En dan zie ik wel dat cursisten vragen hebben, maar ze krijgen die vraag dan heel moeilijk in het Engels uitgelegd. Ze verstaan wel, als er een lesgever is, ze verstaan meestal het Engels wel, maar om dan een vraag, zeker als het wat technisch is, om een vraag te stellen. Nu, in jouw geval veronderstel ik, ze gaan die vraag dan gewoon in het Nederlands kunnen stellen. En dan kan jij eventueel zelfs, of als ze iets niet begrijpen in het Engels, dan kan jij het natuurlijk even vertalen in het Nederlands.
Altijd, ja. En het is, voor mij is het ook gewoon makkelijker in het Engels, omdat ik alles in het Engels heb nagekeken en geleerd. Dus alle hersenregio's in het Nederlands te benoemen, dat vind ik toch een beetje lastig. Maar ik kan elke vraag graag ook in het Nederlands en Engels beantwoorden. Dat is geen probleem.
Voor de duidelijkheid, voor de Vlaamse kijkers, Astrid spreekt Nederlands, maar ze is eigenlijk van Duitsland. Het is geen native. Wij horen dat niet. Even voor de duidelijkheid, wij horen dat niet. Nederlanders horen waarschijnlijk dat jij geen native Nederlands spreker bent. Maar wij Vlamingen horen dat niet als Nederlanders niet native zijn. Wij horen dat. Dat is hetzelfde als Nederlanders mijn vrouw horen spreken, dan zeggen die ook allemaal, amai, jij spreekt zo goed Vlaams. En ik heb niks accent. Maar een
Ja.
Vlaming hoort ook wel dat ze geen native Vlaams spreekt. Maar dat is heel
Oh,
raar, ja.
ja.
Dus even om dat duidelijk te maken. Ja, voilà, dus
Ik
jullie
kan ook in
kunnen
het
vragen
Duits
stellen.
reageren, ja.
Dus Duits kan ook. Ja, maar dat is misschien niet slecht, want ik heb heel veel cursisten in Duitsland die misschien wel interesse hebben voor deze online, voor de livestream misschien.
Mhm.
Dat ga ik ook wel even met hun delen. Dus, maar ik weet ik heb pas les gegeven in Magdeburg in Duitsland. En daar hebben ze ook de vragen in het Duits gesteld, omdat ik dat
Mhm.
meestal ook wel begrijp. En ik heb dan geantwoord in het Engels.
Ja.
En als ik het echt niet verstond, dan heeft het, want ze hadden een simultane vertaling daar.
Mhm. Oh,
Dan
leuk,
dan
ja.
kon ik het ook wel even laten vertalen. Dus, maar ik weet uit ervaring dat als ze de vraag in hun eigen taal kunnen stellen, dat ze dan ook net iets meer
Ja.
bereid zijn om vragen te stellen. En omdat ze dat dan niet naar het Engels moeten vertalen.
Ja, en
Dus
ik snap dat er
ja,
een drempel is, ja.
ja, voilà. Dus
Ja.
die drempel is er met deze training zeker niet. Then let's switch to English again. So, if you have any questions regarding this training and you want to ask me something more about the practical side or Astrid about the topic, just send us an email. Just send me a WhatsApp message. I will forward it to Astrid then, and then she can reply. It's better to be informed before you come to a training, so that you know what to expect and what you will get out of it. So I hope to see many of you guys in Leuven or online on the live stream. It will be a good live stream, a professional live stream that you really can follow at home. So I will put some different cameras there, so it will be easy to follow, not like just a little webcam and somebody in the
Somebody
distance
speaking in the
teaching.
background.
So it will be technical. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. Astrid, thank you for first of all responding on my invitation to come to Belgium
Well,
and
thank you for inviting me.
for this interview. And yeah, I look forward as well to this trainings and to see you in Belgium again.
Yay.
Bye.
Another month. Okay, bye-bye. See ya.